G'day, my name is Felix. Welcome to my little corner of the back rooms. Today we're checking out more Myosotis. Let's get into it. The city stretches behind you, but in the quiet of the park, feels like another world entirely. The sound of distant traffic fades into nothing, the soft rustling of trees replacing the constant hum of urban life. Doe walks a little slower, his shoulders looser than before. You hop up onto the fountain's stone edge, balancing with your arms outstretched like a tightrope walker. Do you think I could still fall in? Doe glances up at you, his brow raising slightly in amusement. That depends. Do ghosts have balance? I guess we're about to find out. You take an exaggerated step forward, pretending to stumble for a moment. You think you might tip forward, that maybe gravity still has a hold on you, but nothing happens. Your body isn't yours anymore. The world doesn't touch you the way it used to. You don't make waves. You don't make a sound. You don't make an impact. But Doe laughs anyway. It's soft at first, just a tiny chuckle under his breath, but then it becomes more fundamental. You glance over at him and he's smiling, really smiling. Orange glow. Sheets of ice around the boy's heart melt away. Apathy and resignation recede? Giving way to a timid gentleness, bare skin in the summer sun after a long winter. Not that soft, careful expression you've seen before, not like he's trying to comfort you or watching his words. This is different. It's easy, unrestrained. You step down from the fountain edge, stretching your arms behind your head before flopping onto a nearby bench, staring at the sky. Man, I almost forgot what it's like to just chill. Doe hums, stepping closer before sitting down at the opposite end of the bench. He leans back, eyes half-lidded, watching the tree branches sway overhead. Yeah, it's nice. There's a long pause, a comfortable one. You almost let yourself sink into it, almost let yourself forget what you are, what happened, and everything keeping you tied to this place. Then Doe exhales slowly, and when you glance at him, his expression has shifted again. He's thinking, you can tell. His gaze is distant, focused on something that isn't there. Brooding, but freed from the frost, rage, grief, and the promise of a future that will never come. Dark, deep-rooted emotions, once buried, come to resurface like black serpents coiling within Doe's mind, casting shadows over his face. You hesitate. Part of you wants to ask him about it. What do you remember? But another part of you doesn't. Not yet. Not when this moment still feels light. You don't want to ruin it just yet. So instead, you smirk, tilting your head toward him. I didn't peg you for the type who enjoys sitting around in a park. Doe blinks, pulled from his thoughts. He raises an eyebrow. Yeah? What type did you peg me for? I don't know. You've got that whole I think too much energy. I figured if I ever saw you in a park, you'd be one of those guys writing in a journal and drinking some overpriced coffee, contemplating life or some shit. Doe lets out a surprised laugh, shaking his head. Okay, first of all, ouch. Second of all, that's not that far off. You grin as he shakes his head again, more amused than offended. He leans back against the bench, stretching his arms slightly before resting them behind his head. But for the record, my coffee was never overpriced. I worked at a supermarket. It has its benefits. So you admit you had a journal? Doe huffs, rolling his eyes. Maybe. Blink and you miss it. Years of a life buried in books, wasted. Years of academic hardships and constant belittlement, wasted. Years of a reserved disposition and a tendency not to bother others, wasted. You chuckle, shaking your head as you stretch across the bench, letting your fingers ghost over the surface. Ironic. Doe must catch something in your expression because you shift slightly, observing you. Do you ever think about what it felt like before? You glance at him, frowning slightly. Before? Doe nods, looking down at his hands, fingers flexing slightly, like he's trying to remember what it was like to hold something. I don't know, just existing? Feeling things. I try to remember what the sun felt like on my skin. But it's weird. It's like I know it's warm, but I don't actually remember the feeling. His voice is quiet, almost absent-minded. You stare at him momentarily, then let out a slow breath. Yeah, I get that. You glance up at the sky again. It's strange how the world keeps moving without you. The way the sun still rises, the wind still moves, and the city still breathes like nothing ever changed. Like you were never even here. Like nothing. Like Doe's only college friend never invited him out to the park and into the woods. Like that friend never grew jealous of some imagined academic excellence Doe possessed. Like that friend never wrapped his hands around Doe's throat and watched the life leave his eyes. I'm gonna make myself a little smaller. I am not covering anything. Doe shifts beside you, voice softer when he speaks again. What do you think we're supposed to do? You turn your head toward him. Supposed to what? Supposed to hurt him, or to bring him to justice, or just to let it go. That makes you pause. Let go? You don't know. You haven't even let yourself think about it. What does it mean to let go? Would that make you disappear? Would it change anything? Could you even let go when you still don't have answers? Oh, justice. I want justice, personally. Doe doesn't push for an explanation, he just nods, exhaling slowly, watching as the trees sway in the morning breeze. What do you want? I want to remember my name, my life outside of my death. I've actually put together some things, but I don't remember my childhood, nothing about growing up. Just death and college. Oh, is there even any point to it? I'm dead. It doesn't really matter anymore. Oh, Doe, don't say that. You don't have an answer for him. Instead, your eyes search around in lieu of your brain trying to solve his problem. Why don't we go to the cemetery? Doe nods, standing up to follow you. The cemetery? Are we looking for clues in the cemetery? The cemetery looms ahead, quiet and still. Where souls go to rest. You're not sure why you suggested the cemetery. A simple gut feeling called to you. He dries his tears. You want to help him, and your gut tells you the cemetery will mend his broken spirit. I don't want him to just like give up and accept that he's forgotten everything. That's really sad. The iron gates stand open, the path leading inside lined with old trees, their branches twisting like outstretched hands. This is where you used to work. This is where you spent hours wandering before you died. And now, you're walking through it with someone just as dead as you. Beside you, Doe hesitates at the entrance. It's subtle, but you catch the way his step falters just slightly. You stop walking, tilting your head slightly as you glance at him. You good? Doe blinks like you just pulled him out of a thought he didn't realize he was having. He exhales, rubbing the back of his neck before shaking his head. Yeah, just weird being back here, I guess. He steps forward, pushing through the gates, forcing himself inside. He doesn't wait for you. He just moves, his shoulders stiff and his jaw set. He just keeps walking. You follow, your footsteps silent against the dirt path. The air is still thick, not with grief, not precisely. It's the weight of memory, of all the lives laid to rest here, of all the people who still exist in some way because they have names carved in stone. Proof that they mattered. Doe doesn't have that, and that's why you're here. Doe moves slowly, scanning each grave as you pass. His eyes flick from name to name, searching, waiting for something to click. You watch him, arms crossed, waiting for that moment, waiting for recognition to light up his face, for him to stop and say, "This is it. This is me." But that moment never comes. Oh, this is actually making me really sad. You pass old graves with names that have long since faded, past newer ones with fresh dirt still settling into the earth. The whole time, Doe doesn't say a word. He just looks and looks and looks. And then eventually, he stops. Not because he's found something, not because something clicks, but because he knows just as much as you do But there's nothing here. Is there another cemetery, maybe? Or was his body just never found? Because wasn't it, like... I'm trying to remember last episode. Wasn't it, like, in the woods or something? Maybe it's still there? There's no headstone with his name, no mark of his existence, nothing. Like he was never here at all. Doe exhales slowly, his shoulders sinking, and as he stares at a blank patch of grass between two graves. He lets out a short, humorless laugh, shaking his head slightly. Restless. He's looking for his own grave, a sign that he lived, passed away, and was mourned. He finds none. Guess that would have been too easy, huh? Oh my god, Doe, I'm so sorry. You don't say anything at first. He doesn't look angry, just tired. He let himself hope for something, even for a second, and now that hope settles into disappointment. You bump your shoulder against his. Well, look at it this way. You can definitely go by John Doe. Don't! Doe huffs out a small laugh, shaking his head. Right, yeah, that's a weird kind of freedom, I guess. But his smile doesn't last. It lingers for a second and fades at the edges like it was never fully there. You see it in his eyes, the sadness buried underneath the quiet ache of not knowing. No name, no past, no certainty. Just fragments of memory slipping through his fingers like sand. John Doe. You are the only thing grounding him to reality at the moment. Having a name, even a temporary one, is enough to prevent his complete shutdown. This is depressing me. Like, I'm actually gonna cry. This is so sad. I want to be able to help him. He runs a hand through his hair, exhaling slowly before looking at you again. So, what now? Is my body still in a locker? Because I probably don't have a grave either, right? Now I apparently don't have a name. I just get referred to as you. Your gaze flickers toward the edge of the cemetery, where the trees stretch toward the sky, their branches swaying slightly in the wind. There's a trail there leading into the forest. A quiet place to think. A place to breathe. If either of you could still do that. Or would something busier be better? The city is alive beyond the cemetery gates, and the streets are full with people going about their night. Downtown isn't far. Maybe the noise, the movement, the life will help pull Doe out of his head for a little while. But then there's another thought, a colder one, the morgue. If you want answers, to know the truth, that's where they are. The place where your body was last seen. You could go there now. Maybe there's something you missed. Perhaps it's time to stop avoiding it. You cross your arms, glancing at Doe. We have a few options. Doe raises an eyebrow, waiting. We could take a walk in the forest, clear our heads, figure out what to do next. You nod toward the tree line, watching as Doe follows your gaze. His expression stays unreadable. Or we could go downtown, see if anything jogs your memory. His lips press together slightly, thoughtful, but he doesn't answer immediately. You take a breath, knowing the next option is the real one that matters. Or we go to the morgue. Doe tenses slightly. It's not much. His expression darkens just a bit, the ghost of a frown settling in before he smooths it over. You wait, letting the options settle between you. Eventually, Doe tilts his head, considering. Your call, partner. Of course! Of course Oh, man. You roll your eyes at that, but you can't help the slight smirk that tugs at the corner of your lips. Don't call me that. Doe just grins. Too late. You shake your head, exhaling slowly as you make your choice. This decision may seal your fate. No, that's so much pressure. Oh my god, dude. Okay. Let me think. He said he remembered something about going to the forest with Ethan, right? So there is a slim possibility that if we go in the forest, we may find his body. Visiting downtown, I think, may make us depressed because, seeing all the people alive, living their lives, might make us be like, damn, wish that were me. Wish I was alive. Or we could just go to the morgue and find out about us. but that feels like it could be a selfish option. I really want to help Doe, because I think Doe's been dead longer than us, and, Doe's forgetting things. We're gonna try the forest. If we don't find anything in the forest, we will reload and go to the morgue. Let's just skip to the morgue, so we may possibly go to the morgue later. So, let's walk in the forest. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, hoping that the forest has some sort of answers for us. It's stressing me out that it says this decision may seal our fate. I don't really like that, but let's go in the forest. You decide on the forest. The trees sway with the wind, their leaves whispering in a language you can't quite understand. Sunlight filters through the branches in uneven patches, painting the dirt path in streaks of gold and shadow. There's something almost peaceful about it. You know you made the right choice. The basilisk snarls at you, and yet you are on edge, or rather Doe is. Your sixth sense is picking up on the subtle feeling and mistaking it as your own. You and Doe step forward, moving deeper, leaving the cemetery behind. Which way do you go? Oh my god, more choices? Oh shit, what did I keep? Oh my god, okay. We're gonna save again, dude. Oh my god. Okay, 3. Save. I'll go right. You look at Doe. He doesn't say anything, just watches you, waiting for your decision. You exhale and nod toward the right. Let's go this way. Doe doesn't argue, he just follows. The deeper you go, the more the air changes. It's subtle at first, it's just a shift, a slight temperature difference. The wind doesn't move as quickly here. The branches don't sway as much. Everything feels still. You stop at a crossroads, 3 paths stretching out ahead. Doe steps beside you, his gaze flickering from one path to the next. This place is starting to feel off. Yeah, I noticed. Okay. Forward? Okay. Forward. Come on. He follows without a word. The path narrows even more, branches reaching down like fingers trying to grab you. The ground beneath your feet is uneven and soft in places where the dirt has been disturbed. Something isn't right. The air is heavier here. What path do you take last? Okay, we'll save again. Forward. Path ends. Left. Path ends. Right. This looks like the right path. Okay. You turn right again, walking a few paces. You consider turning back, but you smell something just as your feet shift. A foul, rotting stench. Something within you stirs. It hits you all at once, twisting around the back of your throat, making your nose wrinkle. It's thick, pungent, unnatural. Do you smell that? Doe stops beside you. His eyes flicker to the ground ahead, to the uneven patch of dirt just beyond the trees. You follow his gaze. That path of dirt is different. It's been disturbed, half covered with leaves like someone tried to hide something and gave up halfway. Ophelia. Pressure on the chest. Muted. Lungs full of dirt. You step forward, the smell growing stronger, pressing against you. It's coming from there. Whatever is under that dirt, that's what's rotting. Doe doesn't move. He just stares at the spot, his hands twitching slightly. The basilisk opens its maw. You think you hear a voice beneath the earth. Help. His expression has gone blank, like his mind has shut down. Your stomach churns, but you have to know, you have to see. You kneel, reaching out, fingers ghosting over the loose dirt, and it moves from under you, scattering away from your touch. The smell intensifies. It hits you like a punch to the gut, the overwhelming stench of death, decay, and something left to rot alone for far too long. You grit your teeth, forcing yourself to keep going, pushing aside dirt, pulling away leaves until you see it. A hand. Pale, shriveled, skin stretched tight over bone. Part of it is missing, stripped away by time, insects, or something else. Your breath catches and you keep digging. Fast now, frantic. Dirt blows over fabric, over a sleeve, over a face, and then you stop. It's him. Doe. Doe is staring down at it. At himself. His mouth opens slightly, but nothing comes out. He just stares. It's real. and suddenly everything is different. Doe. He takes a step back, just one. His expression stays frozen, but you can feel it. The way everything inside him has just snapped. The realization, the horror, the weight of it all pressing down at once. And you don't know what to say, because what the hell are you supposed to say to someone who just found their own grave? Sorry. I thought I thought this would help, and now I feel really bad. Doe, we need to. Oh my god. Oh my god! The morgue! The morgue! We need to! Doe turns around, running in the direction of the morgue. You chase after him, struggling to keep up. He doesn't slow when he reaches the door. Without hesitation, he walks straight through it, vanishing into the dim, sterile light beyond. You follow. The morgue is quiet. Oh, I just got a cold shiver. Holy shit. The morgue is quiet. Doe is already searching. His movements are frantic, ripping open cabinets and pulling drawers loose. Your fingers skim through storage spaces, past files, past records, past things that should tell you nothing, but everything feels heavy with meaning. You know the evidence is here. It has to be. Doe. He doesn't stop. His hands move faster, shoving things aside without needing to touch anything, knocking over a tray in the process. The clatter echoes through the room, but neither of you react to it. You're too close now. Too close to stop. Then your eyes fall on something. A bag. Nothing remarkable. Nothing fancy, just a simple worn bag tucked into the back of a storage unit. You reach out, your fingers ghosting over the material before you pull it forward, unzipping it slowly. Inside there are items, personal belongings, things shoved inside carelessly, discarded like they no longer mattered. Most notably, old student IDs. Sorry, how many? You furrow your brows, pulling them out, flipping through them, names, faces, forgotten students who must have come through here at some point. One ID catches your attention. You move to grab it, half expecting it to fall out of your ghostly hand, but it doesn't. Your fingers tighten around it as you bring it closer, staring at the name, the photo, the piece of the puzzle that was missing until now. You freeze, looking at the text on the ID. Ethan Calloway. When you flip the ID over, you aren't met with Ethan's face. No, well, you are. Just not Ethan's. Doze. No friggin' way, he's actually Ethan Calloway? You don't breathe. You don't move. This is wrong. So wrong. There's another one. Another ID, another name, and the name? Jude Marshall. You frown, confusion breaking through the horror building in your chest. Your hands shake as you turn the ID over, expecting what? Expecting a stranger's face? Expecting someone you don't recognize? But it's not a stranger. It's the face you've been following this whole time. The face you've spoken to, haunted, tormented. The face of the person you thought you knew. The face that was supposed to belong to Ethan. But it doesn't. Jude's face stares back at you. Oh my god, dude, what? Everything slots together. Jude isn't Ethan. Jude killed Ethan. You don't notice that your hands have started shaking. The ID card in your grip feels heavier than it should. Doe, or rather Ethan, hasn't spoken. Not since you pulled the cards out. He stands beside you staring. He saw the IDs as well. Now his eyes are back on you. Jude. You barely recognize your own voice. The name is poison in your mouth. Ethan flinches slightly, his fingers twitching like he wants to grab the card but doesn't trust himself to move. Jude Marshall. The name feels foreign and familiar all at once. You know it now. You know him now. But it still doesn't feel real. You turn, looking at Ethan, really looking at him. His hands are clenched at his side. His shoulders tense, his eyes locked back onto the student IDs like they're a time bomb waiting to go off. And maybe they are. You don't finish. You don't have to. Yeah. That's all he says. You dated a liar, a murderer, a snake who had shed its own skin and donned the flesh of another to pretend it was something it wasn't. The weight of it hits all at once, a crushing, sinking feeling in your chest. The memories, the moments, the way things never quite made sense. Ethan looks away, turning his back to you. His hands are shaking now and he can't hide it anymore. I should have known sooner. Ethan. He pauses momentarily as you call out his real name, his eyes meeting yours as you gently coax him to turn around. I should have remembered. His voice cracks slightly, something raw and broken spilling out with the words. You don't know what you're supposed to say to someone who just realized they've been watching their own murderer wear their face. I promise to get you the justice you deserve. Holy shit. What the hell? Usually I would end the episode here, but that was such a curveball that I want to keep going. So, we're gonna go for a bit longer today. Your grip around the IDs tightens as you turn to leave the morgue. You finally have something to scare Jude with, but you still feel a lingering emptiness. You keep running your fingers over the edges of Ethan's ID. You don't know if it's grounding you or cutting you open, maybe both. Ethan walks at your side, silent. You're not sure if he's angry or grieving or grieving or empty like you. You don't know what to think, so you focus on returning to Jude's room. The dorms are dark by the time you get there. You step just outside the building, staring up at the windows. You can't tell which one belongs to Jude from here, but he's up there. Ethan doesn't move first. He just watches you, waiting for you to take the lead. After a pause, you do, beginning your ascent up the old building and reaching Jude's door. It's unlocked. Why? Hello? You walk through it. The room is dim, lit only by the faintest glow from the hallway. Jude's shape is easy to make out on the bed, curled toward the wall, one hand tucked beneath his pillow. He looks ordinary, peaceful even. That pisses me off. You step inside, and it only takes you a moment to realize you aren't alone. Is it that figure again? It is. The hooded figure you've been seeing recently is inside Jude's room. Standing in front of Jude's dresser, pale fingers carefully sliding the drawers open one by one. Quiet, meticulous, like they're searching for something. What the hell? Ethan's eyes, like yours, are fixed on them, watching their every movement. They're here again. You watch the way they move, hands gliding over every object like they already know where things are kept. Ethan edges closer, squinting as though he can force the shadows to peel back and reveal a face. I can't. His hands flex uselessly at his sides. I still can't see them. The figure's hood stays low over their head, shadows clinging to them like smoke. No face, no features, nothing. Whom? Like some kind of evil, sneaky guy? Stop! That's so silly with everything that's happening! They move to Jude's nightstand now, lifting a small journal and flipping through it page by page. Their movements are precise, practiced even. You glance back at Jude, still asleep. I wake up so easily. What are they doing? I don't know. The figure finishes with the journal and sets it back in place, exactly where they found it. Then, they turn toward the bed, toward Jude. Ethan steps forward, automatically blocking the way, even though it's obvious the figure can't see him. You grab his arm. Wait. This is it. Decide your fate. Oh my god, okay. Place the IDs on Jude's nightstand. You step quietly toward the nightstand. The lamp flickers, the flame's reflections dances along the hooded figure's arm. as it continues its search, oblivious to you. This isn't your revenge. It isn't your place. But it could be justice. Your hand shakes slightly as you reach toward the nightstand by Jude's bed. You set the IDs down quietly, deliberately. They make a soft click against the wood. It's a small sound in the dark, but it's enough. The figure freezes, turning towards the nightstand. They stride toward the IDs with silent, sure steps. There's something almost reverent about the way their fingers close around them. Then, Jude stirs. His eyes open, bleary and red-rimmed. He looks around, confused, his breathing shallow. Then he sees the hooded figure standing at his nightstand, and his face shifts. Who the fuck are you? And what the hell are you doing in here? The hooded figure doesn't answer. They take a step back and present the IDs, gripping them tightly. Jude's expression twists, instantly recognizing them. He knows what's happening, even if he doesn't understand how. Panic scrambles across his features like an insect skitters under his skin. "Give those back," Jude snarls, lunging for the figure. The figure darts away, fast and practiced. Jude is wild now, unhinged, the same way he was when you figured it out. "Come back, you don't know what you're doing!" But the figure doesn't stop. They throw open the door and rush into the hall. Jude scrambles after them, barefoot and half-dressed, his face pale with fury. You hear him shouting as he runs, their echoes bouncing off the old wooden halls. You follow them out into the night. The air outside is sharp, smelling like rain that hasn't fallen yet. You watch the figure duck into the shadows beyond the courtyard. Jude lags now, slower. He curses under his breath, punching at the brick walls when he can't keep up. Oh my god, dude, I don't get management issues much. Well, I mean, he killed me. You drift farther away from him toward the figure. They don't stop until they reach the edge of town, realize where they're going. The police station. Oh, hell yeah! It makes sense in a way. It makes sense in a way that feels heavy in your chest. You watch the figure step through the front doors. You linger there for a moment before you move closer, inside now. Standing by the desk, the figure slams the IDs down in front of the officer on duty. You hear their voice sharp as a knife. "You refuse to do anything without evidence, so here, identity theft. My friend is still out there and you people stopped looking." The officer stares at them, then at the IDs. Recognition dawns on his tired face. His fingers move to pick up Ethan's ID first, turning it over carefully. Jude's comes next. "Where did you get these?" "Dorm room. The one that used to belong to Ethan. You know, the real Ethan." The officer calls someone, another officer, and then another. The wheels start turning. Word spreads fast in a small town. By morning, there's a search party combing the woods behind the school. Officers sweep the dormitories. The lake is dredged. Students whisper in clumps, wide-eyed, their voices hushed but frantic. It doesn't take long. They find Ethan's body beneath the roots of a gnarled old tree, hidden deep in the dirt like something someone tried to bury and forget. But you can't bury a ghost. Not really. You watch from a distance they carry him out. You can't see his face, but you don't need to. You already said goodbye. The funeral is quiet. No family comes to claim him. You stand by the grave as they lower him down, dirt falling like soft rain. Someone places flowers at the marker. You're not sure who. It doesn't matter. He's home now. Jude is arrested 2 days later. The trial doesn't last long. There's too much evidence, too many mistakes. Taking Ethan's identity was his biggest one. Everyone believed he was Ethan until they found the real Ethan in the ground. The mask slips fast after that. Jude doesn't fight it. He just laughs sometimes, soft and broken. They lock him away. You visit the dormitory once after it's all over. The room is empty, cleaned out, but you can still feel the weight of what happened there. You don't stay long. Evening falls slow tonight. The graveyard is quiet. The stones lean at odd angles, worn smooth by time and weather. The grass is soft beneath your shoes as you walk. The wind moves through the trees with a low, tired sigh. Ethan sits by his own grave. He's less pale now. Each day gives him back a little more of himself. He watches you approach with a small smile. You sit beside him. For a while, neither of you speak. The silence isn't heavy this time. It's easy, comfortable. After a while, you ask him a question. Do you have any regrets? Ethan looks down at his hands. His fingers brush over the carved letters of his name on the stone. The flowers beside it are fresh. Only one. You glance over. He's smiling again, a little shy. I wish I'd asked you out. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry! What? I wish I'd asked you out back when I was alive. I mean, I was going to. I had everything planned out. I had asked you to meet in a letter, but then he cuts himself off, sighing. You get the point. You blink. laughing for a moment. It's never too late. He glances at you. His expression shifts. He wasn't expecting that. I'm actually gonna cry, dude. This is so sweet. And then he leans forward, picking up one of the flowers by his grave, a small, delicate thing, pale petals, edges just starting to curl. He offers it to you. In that case, would you? Ending one. Justice. Oh my god! That was so good. I'm so glad we got justice. Oh, I'm a little sad that, like, our body wasn't found. But it seems that our friend was looking for us, so that's good. Yeah, that really took me by surprise. That was really, really good. Oh my god, I teared up a little bit. That was so emotional. Yeah, let's save. Oh my god, okay, let's not save, I guess. That was Myosotis. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.